All right, y'all, I'm back. She good. She turning up, okay? She turning up in her bedroom. She playing with all her stuff, and sometimes she get way too excited. So anyway, so a friend of mine, asked me to be in his music video, and I was just like, I'm in Tanzania, why not try something new? Okay, before this, you know what, let me actually talk about this before. Let me actually talk about what happened before this. Before this, I went on a spiritual connection with God. I really, like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I kind of had like I hate men phase for a while. Like, I didn't want any man to talk to me. I was disgusted with men. I like hated men. I literally wanted nothing to do with men, okay? Like, even if a man looked my way, I mean, I had people, it's so funny, I had people contact me like, oh, you know, like people that I've known for years who was like, oh, I'm so glad, you know, you out of a relationship with him. Like, I've had a major crush on you for a long time. And I would just have a disgusted face. Like, I hated men. Like, I absolutely hated it, which is, listen, we all get better after a breakup and stuff like that. And unfortunately, you know, it wasn't just a typical breakup. Like, we had a really rough end. And it took me so long. I was already mentally clocked out of the relationship for at least 8 months. Like, I was already just like done. And then I just kept staying because I knew that we had a child together, and I felt like it was the right thing to do for my daughter, for at least to keep trying. But then, like, I got to the point where I was like, I can't do this. Like, I would rather my daughter see me by myself than grow up thinking it's okay for a man to hit her. Like, I just was like, I got to that point where I was like, F this. Like, I'm out. Like, I cannot deal with this anymore. Like, I just, like, I was so, guys, I was so low at that point. Like, I was the lowest of the lowest. Like, I could not believe that I allowed myself to be, guys, I went through foster care. I went through so much stuff. Like, I had to really sit down and think to myself, like, Diamond, like, you went through all this, you overcame all this stuff in your life, and you really sitting in a house with a man who's abusing you, and you just allowing it. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, for what? For love? There's no love. Like, yeah, he said he loves you, but somebody who loves you wouldn't treat you that way. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I was like, guys, I was like mentally like clocked out. I was so done. And after finally leaving, when I physically left, mentally, emotionally, I was already gone for a long time. But physically, when I physically left and I did everything that I needed to do, you know, when I finally called the cops, when I finally did everything, it was like such a relief, like, ah. But then I went through like, I hate men. I went through that period. So by the time I came to Tanzania, I didn't have so much of the mindset of I hate men, but I did have the mindset of like I'm so scared to date. Why am I so scared? Because I'm afraid that like I'm gonna run into another. I knew, like, I didn't know what I wanted, but I know what I didn't want. And I wanted nothing like my ex. Like, when I say I wanted nothing, like, I didn't even want somebody who looked like him. I didn't want somebody who looked like him, somebody who talked like him. I didn't want anybody with a broken background. I wanted nothing. Oh God, it makes me sick to my stomach when I even think about it. Like, I literally wanted nothing like him. So I just wasn't interested in dating, okay? So now I'm in Tanzania and I have a different mindset. I'm like, I'm open to date. Like, I'm open to, you know, I'm open to date. So during that time in New York, I wanted nothing to do with men. But I picked my face up. I started working on my career. I started working on everything that was going on with me. I started being a single mom. I started, you know, doing all that stuff. And then by the time I came to Tanzania, and I had went on my spiritual journey, by the time I came to Tanzania, I felt good. I felt like, all right, if it comes my way, cool. But I'm not gonna go out and look for it. Like, I'm not about to be like, I wanna have a Tanzanian man, I wanna find somebody. Like, if it comes my way, great, I will be open to it. Versus before, when I was in New York, I was not open to it at all, because there was men in my DM, there was people hitting me up and all this stuff, people that I knew for years, and I was like, absolutely not. But this time, I was more open to it. So I go to this video shoot, and guess who is the videographer? Here we have Mr. Hope FX. So I'm like, okay, I see him and he's cute or whatever, and I'm like, you know, he's cute, but again, not doing too much or whatever. Like, oh, he's cute, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's cute, like, you know, whatever. Like, and actually what ended up happening is I had to stop the video shoot. Okay, guys, I'm giving you a real fast version of this story. If you want to see the detailed version, go on DNH and you will see how we met. I had to stop the video shoot because I received a phone call, okay? And of course, I received this phone call and it was about my ex. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I just like swear I can't just live my life. So I'm in the hallway because the scene is shot in a hotel. So I'm in the hallway and I'm like, you know, on the phone with these people and all of this stuff. And here come Hope. Hope comes out. And he's like, you know, he waits until he sits there patiently. He waits in the hallway. And he's like, oh, I just wanted to know, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Like, of course, you know, all pretty and stuff. I was like, all pretty. Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Like, thank you. And then he was like, oh, okay, I just wanted to make sure because I saw you were out here for a long time. I was like, yeah, you know, I just had to deal with some stuff, but I'm good. Like, I'm ready to get back into the shoot. So he was like, okay, great. And then he was like, I forgot how he said it, but he said it real smooth. Like, he was like, oh, can you put your number in my phone? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Now, at that time, I wasn't thinking Hope was interested in me. I just thought it was about work. He's a videographer. I'm a YouTuber. He wanted to maybe do a collab. He wanted to work together. You know, I didn't think that, you know, it was, I mean, I just knew he was just a really cute guy. That was it. So I just automatically thought it was about the YouTube or whatever. So I was like, all right, cool. So then the shoot is finally over. We leave. And he texted me that night to make sure, like, you know, I got home safely and all this stuff. We wound up staying up to chat until like 3 a.m. like low-key, like till like 3 a.m. we winded up chatting, just, you know, just general questions like, you know, who you are, what you do, and da-da-da-da-da, and all of this stuff. So yeah, that's how that happened. And then we finally went on our first date, and all the advice that I just gave you, oh, trust and believe. I used it because, like I said, I might have not known what I wanted, but I know what I didn't want. Because I went through everything I went through with my ex, I knew what I didn't want. I knew. When I tell you I knew what I didn't want, I knew what I didn't want. Take those past experiences and learn from them. I see way too many girls who end up in the same relationship, just different guy. Like, same type of relationship, just a different guy. Learn from those experiences. And I knew that I didn't want anything like him, so I knew, you know, the type of questions I wanted to ask Hope, you know? Like, I wanted to know about his family. How, you know, how is his family? How's his mom? Is his mom and dad still together? I mean, boom, number one, biggest red flag, okay? That I should have caught on when I was 21 years old. First of all, the first time I went to my ex's house, I guess the dog was like barking, or he was doing something, obviously, because I was in the house and there was a stranger in the house, and he like beat the dog. He like, when I say he beat the dog, like he was like kicking and punching this dog, and I was like, oh. So that should have been the number one red flag. Anybody who's willing to abuse an animal, gotta go. Like, but again, this was not something that I was thinking about. Another thing about my ex, like, he used to curse his mama out. Like, and again, it was, I don't know what was wrong with me back then. Like, it didn't resonate to red flag. Or at least, maybe I did know it was red flags, but I choose to ignore it. But this time I wasn't gonna ignore it. So all of these red flags that we see, and maybe it was because he was my first boyfriend and I just was so excited to have a boyfriend or something. I don't know why I was that way. And just guys, I really think back and think about how stupid I was, like for real. Like I really sometimes Hope and I would laugh about it and he would be like, what was you thinking? I'd be like, I don't know, baby. Like, I really don't know. Like, I really don't know. So, like, I mean, this is a toxic family. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about a family that pull out guns on each other. You know, his brother pulled out a gun on his mother. Like, I was like, what is this craziness happening? Like, he's talking about houses that's being raided, drugs being packed. Like, and I really was like in love. Like I really was like in love. Like yes, I'm about this life when I was not about that life. So I wanted to make sure that the person that I was going to be interested in did not have those same qualities. His family didn't have those same qualities. And then, you know, I got to know Hope and, you know, his parents were married, you know, well, they still are married for 35 years. He comes from a very loving home, you know, like, you know, all of his brothers and sisters. Like, I just got to know him. And the more and more I got to know him, the more I was like, wow, this guy is super cool. Of course, I asked him questions about, you know, how does he, you know, about his beliefs. How do you feel about, you know, I'm not a Tanzanian woman. Like, how does it feel to, you know, I might be a little more aggressive because I'm more passionate. I don't like to cook every day. There's some days where I don't feel like cooking and I want to go out. I like to be taken out. I like to go different places. I'm a YouTube traveler. Like, I like to, you know, and it was just all things that he was down with. Now, guys, just so you know, remember I said that some people will lie. My ex did lie to me and told me that he loved traveling and it was a big thing for him and all this stuff. That man did not want to go anywhere besides Bronx, New York. I'm telling you, like, he did not like traveling. He completely lied to me and said, which for me, that's a deal breaker if you don't like traveling, because I love to travel. But he lied to me, and then later on in the relationship, he said, like, oh, I thought I liked traveling until, like, I met a real traveler and saw that, like, I really don't like traveling. So that was already like a big bump in the head or whatever. So some people will lie to you, but if I had looked at all the other red flags, I would have and I had taken those red flags seriously, I would have already been out of the relationship anyways. So keep in mind those things. Those things are very, 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 very serious, asking those questions. So now when it came to Hope and his cultural beliefs, when Hope was telling me about, like, oh, yeah, like, for the days you don't feel like cooking, I will cook. For the days you don't feel like cleaning, like, I will clean. You know, like, that's not a problem for me, you know. Now, obviously, like, his way of living is very different than my way of living. Like, in his beliefs, you don't introduce a woman to your parents unless you're ready to marry her. Like, you don't just take any girlfriend and bring them home. Like, that's just not what he does. Versus me, where I've been in a serious relationship, I was almost gonna get married, I had a baby, all of these things. It was very different for him. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's not how it is over here. So he kind of had to understand, and I wanted to make sure that he was okay with it. He was okay with me having a baby. He was okay with me having to deal with my ex for the rest of my life. Guys, please, 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 please don't have kids with people that are red flags, because I feel like even after I've left him, everything has just, like, it's even gotten worse because he's just a psychopath. So just keep in mind of those things, you know, really, especially if you know it's out of their culture, make sure that you are as transparent as possible. I warned Hope, listen, Hope, if you're gonna deal with me, you're going to have to deal with my ex. He is not the most pleasant person. He is a disgusting person. This is who he is, but unfortunately, that is my daughter's father. So if you're with me, this is someone you're going to have to deal with. Are you mentally, emotionally, physically ready to deal with that? And be fair to your partner that, yes, I am ready to deal with that. No, I'm not ready to deal with that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, be fair to them, because it's something I would want to know. You know, I want to to know if Hope has some kids running around and he had a crazy baby mama. Like, I would want to know that. So, and I wouldn't want to know that after we've been in a relationship. I would want to know that from the beginning so I can be able to have the choice as to if I want to deal with it or not. Okay? Being as transparent as possible. Okay? Now, jealousy in a relationship is real. When I tell you jealousy in a relationship is real, again, these are the red flags, okay? In my old relationship, okay, I don't even think he got his high school diploma. I don't remember, but I don't even think he got his high school diploma. And I had degrees. I had so much going for myself. And let me tell you something. Every time I tried to better myself, every time I was like, I want to go back to school, or I want to try to, you know, get better or something like that, I saw so much jealousy and so much hatred. Why would you do that? You don't need to go back to school. This is, you know, this is horrible. Like, you're a mom. You need to take care of your child. You don't have time for school, da 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 da. Eventually, I just had enough and I went back to school and I didn't really care what he said. But that jealousy in a relationship is cool. See, I don't want to say don't date anybody beneath you, but child, try to filter them out and make sure that they genuinely have what's good for you. You understand what I'm saying? And when I had met Hope, it's not that I was expecting him to be like a doctor or anything, but I wanted to make sure that he had things going for himself, because I need you to be as busy as I am, okay? And the thing is like, when I found out, you know, obviously having these conversations, you know, Hope having a bachelor's degree in engineering and he is a licensed engineer, and then he has his videography that he's really passionate about and wants to be like this, you know, director, this documentary director and stuff like that, but he still has his thing that he falls back onto, which is in engineering. I felt so good inside. I felt so like, okay, we're talking about a well-put man together, not a man that tries to act like he's together, but really a man that, and I'm not saying that what makes you together is by having licenses and degrees and stuff like that, but let me tell you something. It makes a difference when you date an educated man. I mean, even just the type of conversations that you can have, that you can meet at the same level, it's a beautiful thing. Like, it really is. So just keep those in mind, because a man who doesn't have anything going for himself is a man who has nothing to lose. Okay? And if a man has nothing to lose, you end up in my situation. You know what I'm saying? Somebody trying to kill you, you gotta leave, you know, like, yeah. So keep that in mind, okay guys, keep that in mind. Gender roles is extremely important, especially when dating a Tanzanian person, because they take gender roles very serious. Now, Hope got pretty lucky because I believe in gender roles, and it's not because I'm Tanzanian, obviously I'm not, but I believe in gender roles because I believe that we all, I don't think that I'm better or he's better. I think that we have different roles in life. And this comes from my, you know, religious side of things. And I do believe in certain things for myself. I don't believe in it for every other woman because every woman is different, but for myself, I do like to cook and clean and have everything pretty in the house, and, you know, and I believe that he should be the one to build the things. He should be the one to, you know, have his masculine roles. That is something that is an important conversation to have, because you don't want to get in a relationship and then you realize like this man expects this and this and this and this and this of you, and then that's not who you are. This goes back to expectations, okay? Now, for me personally, okay, and ask yourself this before you get back in the dating world, or if you're in the dating world right now, ask yourself, who am I, okay? Who am I? What do I want? Okay? What do I need? And what don't I want? Those would be the questions. What don't I want? What don't I want out of a person? Keep in mind, watch out for those flycatchers, okay guys? It is no secret that there are flycatchers out here. Flycatchers out pretty much everywhere, okay? Where these are people, they call them flycatchers here in Tanzania. These are men or women who use you. You know, some of them, they want green cards, some of them, they want money. So they will tell you whatever it is that they want to hear. Flycatchers are people that you will know. Like, guys, you spend enough time with a person, you're gonna know exactly who they are. Guys, don't ignore those signs. You understand what I'm saying? Most of the flycatchers are people who are just so invested into the West, and they have the hope and dreams that they will marry a Western girl, Western man, so that way they can get to Western countries to have a better life. You understand what I'm saying? Or I would say flycatchers in the States are not there for the green cards, but they're there for money. How many times do we see video girls, flycatchers who are women who only date men for money? Yeah, they're not using them for a green card, but they're definitely flycatchers because they out here because they want money. How many times do we see men use women for money? You understand what I'm saying? Like, trust me, I have firsthand experience with my ex. Like, you know what I'm saying? They will use you till the end of the bone. You understand what I'm saying? They will make you feel guilty. They will, you know, make you feel like you just not doing enough. All of those things are things that you need to be watching out for. Please, please, please keep in mind of all of these things when you are dating, okay? Now, the best advice that I got when I met Hope, because I had talked to a friend about this, that I was scared. I was kind of scared to date him. Like, I was like, everything seems so right, but I'm so scared to open myself up again because I just went through so much trauma and stuff like that with my ex. And she was just like, don't miss out on love because of your past experiences. Don't miss out on love. And I'm gonna say the same thing to you. Don't miss out on love because of your past experiences, or don't miss out on love because you have all of these fears. If it's right, it's right. And Hope is one of the best things that's ever happened to me. Like, for real, for real. He really is. I feel so sick. I remember, oh guys, I remember the first thing, okay, that I had said to a friend of mine. My friend was like, why do you like him? And I said, because he makes me feel safe. To me, that was a huge thing. Because, guys, I cannot tell you the amount of times that I slept with my ex in fear. Tonight is the night this man is going to stab me out. Tonight is the night he's going to kill me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there would be times where I would hold on to my daughter because I would be like, okay, if I sleep with her, I know he's not going to do anything to me. Like, there's no greater feeling. I'm feeling like I'm going to get emotional. There's no greater feeling when I laid with Hope. I felt safe and still feel safe. But when I was explaining to her, like, I feel safe. I feel like nothing can harm me. I feel comfortable. I feel like I can be myself. I feel like I don't have anything to worry about. You understand what I'm saying? I can sleep peacefully. I can sleep very... You want pancakes? I can sleep very peacefully. And that was one of the reasons why I knew. Like, I just knew, like, okay, this is the man for me, and he is one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And it has nothing to do with the fact that he's Tanzanian. He could have been from Ghana, he could have been from Nigeria, he could have been from, you know, Thailand, he could have been from Australia. Well, not Australia, because a lot of people are Australian, you know, Caucasian. I don't really do Caucasians. No disrespect to any Caucasians out there, it's just I'm not attracted. But well, maybe are there some black people in Australia? I don't know. I've been to Australia, but I didn't see many of us. Okay, guys, I went sideways. I'm sorry, but the point is, he could have been from anywhere, okay? He could have literally been from anywhere, and the person who he is who I fell in love with. And love is a beautiful thing. Don't psych yourself out of love. For real, don't psych yourself out of love. We overcome so many things, but make sure that you heal from those things. For real, make sure you heal from those things. I remember just being honest with Hope and telling him, like, I have so much self-healing to do when it comes to recovering from the things that I've been through with my ex. And let me tell you something. Hope went and drove me to therapy. I think I went to therapy twice a week. He took me to therapy twice a week and sat outside and waited for me as I healed myself. And he understood. He understood. Like, and he even said sometimes, like, damn, like, you've been through some stuff, you know? And I needed to take care of myself and heal myself in order for me to love him properly, because it's not fair for me to bring that baggage into my new relationship, and it's not fair for me to bring that baggage to him because he doesn't deserve that. So I needed to self-heal myself so I can be able to love him properly and give him a clean slate. But he was able to be a great friend to me, because at that time he was a friend to me. He was able to be a great friend to me and support me through the process, which was what I needed. Like, for real, is what I needed. And again, these are qualities that you have to look out for. Like I said, I didn't know what I wanted, but I know what I didn't want, okay? And now, fast forward to this day, we are married. We have another baby on the way. We have this precious girl right here who he absolutely adores. Hold on, baby. He absolutely adores and treats her like his own. We're happy. Hold on, honey, you're distracting me. This is why I try to film when she's napping, for real, guys, because if I don't, it's like this is what happens. You know, we have businesses together, and we are just like genuinely, like, we love each other so much. And I wish all of the love and happiness to come your way, for real. If you made it to the end of this video, comment that you made it to the end, because I really appreciate it and I love you guys so much, and I thank you guys so much for supporting me. We have like seriously come a long way on this journey together. From the people who have been here from the beginning, for the people who are just now tuning in, make sure that you subscribe. I hope that this topic, you know, resonated with you. And if you, especially guys, remember, sometimes I forget how old I am. I'm gonna be 27 years old next month. Woo! I'm gonna be 27 years old. And you know, I have a lot of life to live and a lot of lessons to learn. So if you are elder, or maybe if you're younger and you have more experience, please comment below, because I would love to hear your stories on a more personal level. And for the people who have reached out to me that are in domestic violence relationships or are going through things, please keep reaching out to me, because I am 1000% here for you guys. Like, for real, because it's hard. You know what I'm saying? And especially, guys, just be very mindful when somebody talks to you about the things that they have gone through and stuff like that. It's very sensitive and it's very hard for people to talk about these things. Just be mindful, and remember that anything that you get out of is going to be very difficult. This is why you want to avoid it in the first place. It's going to be very difficult. I've lost friends. I've lost family members. I have had people tell me they don't believe me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have, you know, obviously a lot of people on his side, because they are biased, of course. But I mean, you have women, you know, I have people, you know, I remember the first time going to his mom and saying, like, this happened to me. She was like, oh, what did you do to piss him off? You're gonna have people like that. You have, excuse me. at the end of the day, you have to stay strong. And I would always tell myself, these people can have all these opinions, but they weren't the ones taking the hits. You know what I'm saying? They weren't the ones going through it. So be happy. Life is too short. When I tell you life is too short to be unhappy, guys. Be happy. Be true to who you are. Get to know you. Take your time, okay? For real, take your time. And if you have any other advice to give anybody who's dating, please, 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 please leave it in the comments. And I will see you guys later. Bye!